Welcome to Mr. Giant Reacts a Tig, a Tig, a Tig. I'm Mr. Giant and I'm back with another video for all your thing. And since it's Easter, we're going to go to Romania and we're going to delve in to this video here. It's called Amazing Unique Easter Traditions in Romania. And as we know, one of the main religions, or the main religions in Romania, is Christian Orthodoxy. So hopefully this is going to delve into that a little bit and say happy Easter to everybody out there, you know what I mean? I myself, and I know it's a different religion, I was raised Roman Catholic, and Easter was really big on the island, you understand what I'm saying? So let's go ahead and YouTube and simmer and see, and then we're going to see what kind of differences our Easter celebrations had with the Romanian celebrations. Let's go, let's see what the vibe is.
Neața Gheorghe, bună ziua, să mai audă la în Babilon.
Easter is the most important religious holiday in Romania, and I want to share some memories and traditions regarding Orthodox Easter in this part of the world. I'm Delmo, the mythology teacher, and these are the most beautiful traditions in Eastern Europe. Some of these Romanian Orthodox Easter customs are still being kept, while some are more likely only remembered by the elderly. Have you ever wondered why is Romania celebrating Orthodox Easter? That's because the main religion in Romania is Christian Orthodox, as of the entire Eastern Europe. How do you say Happy Easter in Romanian? This is called Paște fericit. It's a bit funny since
Paște
in Romanian,
fericit.
Paște can also mean to graze, to eat grass,
Paște.
as in the horses are grazing. Hence, there are many jokes on the matter, and some friends wish each other in Romanian să paștem fericiți, which translates as to graze happily together. As years pass by, many different traditions form, and each Orthodox Easter tradition was shaped by a different social structure. That
Okay.
means that even if the majority of Romanians are Orthodox, traditions can vary in the many different regions of the country. Of course, the more extreme geographic points of Romania have the most differences in their Orthodox Easter traditions. To give a bit of cultural background on the Orthodox religion, I will share some childhood memories. I was raised to go to church before each Easter and Christmas to confess my sins. Obviously, probably they imagine it would make me a good Christian. Anyway, one thing they got right was that I got stuck with the Romanian Easter traditions. Remember that Easter Day is not a fixed date, and it is calculated based on the spring equinox and the next full moon. Very much like in witchcraft, right? The Orthodox Church uses the Julian calendar to calculate it, while the Catholic Church uses the Gregorian calendar, and that's why most years the two dates do not coincide. Even so, Orthodox Easter is almost always in April and is celebrated on a Sunday. So let's talk about Orthodox Easter traditions, about what Romanians eat for Easter and other unusual customs that smells like Middle Ages. Painting the Easter eggs, of course. As with almost any other Orthodox tradition, I must start with Romanian Easter food. For some unknown reason, to me, Easter is all about eggs. Probably one of the most important Romanian Easter traditions. The first step is to paint them red on the Thursday before Easter. Then you wait for Easter to come, as you just look at red eggs because you are fasting. In the Orthodox tradition, people have to fast, not eat animal product for 7 weeks before Easter. This period is known as the largest fasting time in the Orthodox religious calendar. Yes, we have a religious calendar in print. I've told you, these are the Middle Ages, right? After attending the church service during Easter night, you can go home and start eating the eggs and share them with your family and neighbors. Finally, the best part of this Romanian Easter egg tradition is the way you eat the red eggs. You are supposed to crack them in a competition of who has the strongest egg. I guess it's a family activity, like all the other religious activities in the Orthodox traditions. Eggs are considered in a pagan sense a symbol of creation, regeneration and life. It is related to spring and the process of the revival of nature. Anywho, Chinese did paint eggs 2000 years before Christ, so that's something else, right? Cooking specific Romanian Easter food. As a disclaimer, and in defense of all those Romanians who overeat and to whom the gastric medicines TV commercial are addressed, the Bible suggests you should fast for 7 weeks before the Orthodox Easter. A major part of the Romanian Easter traditions is about food. A lot of food like lamb steak, foods that can kill you, comfort food, sweets like pasca, a sweet cheese pie, or cozonac. It's a specific sweet bread and most European countries have a version of it. But obviously, the Romanian version is more complicated and the most delicious of all. Going to church to get the holy light. If I were to believe what the Orthodox Church is saying, then I will have to believe that the light is coming from Jerusalem and that it is holy. At midnight, every church has the holy light to share. You have to bring a bigger candle and get it lit up from the church. You have to wear new clothes for Easter. Yeah, it's a little bit strange. Another well-known Romanian Easter tradition is that you have to get new clothes for Easter. Children would especially get new ones. This is also related to the renewal symbol of Easter, and you, as a good Christian, would have to wear them for this extraordinary service. You should go visiting your family for Easter. The week before Easter is an exhausting week for all women because they are supposed to clean up the house, cook all the above mentioned foods, and even more. Even the days are set for when you cook each thing. On Saturday evening, you get all dressed up and you go to church in the middle of the night. No worries, everyone is roaming the streets, going to or getting back from the church with the holy light. On the second Easter day, you are supposed to go and visit the extended family. Godfathers, grandmas, dogs, stuff like that. And then you eat some more Romanian Easter food at their place, of course. That's why a lot of news on Easter are about people who ate too much. That being said, Easter is a time to spend with your family, eat the traditional Easter foods and relax. Expect to see lots of eggs everywhere. Chocolate companies love this Easter egg tradition and you will see Easter chocolate eggs everywhere. Most importantly, be kind and forgiving towards others. If you enjoyed this, don't forget to subscribe to see more of this ancient and
Okay, that was quite interesting. And I know there's probably a lot more to it than was divulged in this video here, but I got the basis of it. Now, I was born into Catholicism, but I wasn't really heavily practiced Catholic person, because I was the last child, so, I wasn't made to go to church all the time, Even though I went to a Catholic school and all of that, I did communion, but I didn't do confirmation, you know what I mean? And I did go to church every Sunday with my mom, but after a while, I just didn't go anymore. Now, as far as Easter is concerned, this is what I remember for Easter. And it's like from when I was really young. I remember they having what we call a procession during the Easter holidays. I don't know which day it was, but I remember that everybody wore white. And I guess that have to do with a rebirth type thing. And I remember there was a procession in the city, and the priest wore his white gown, and he was ahead of the procession, and he had like an urn type thing, and in that urn, incense was being burned, and he was like waving it. And it's something they did during Mass too, I do believe, when they come down the aisle when it first started, they waving an urn with incense in it, you know what I mean? And I remember the smell of it in the church, but I remember that happening on Easter. And I do remember going to church. But like I said, earlier on in my early teenage years, I kind of slipped away from the Catholic Church, and then my religious and spiritual beliefs sort of swayed towards Rastafarianism later, Though I wasn't like heavily practicing it in my early teenage years, I kind of followed in that direction a little bit, because I liked the way they combined nature and spirituality in one. But that's what to remember. Now, food, yes. Going on the beach on Easter Sunday, and everybody's there with food and drinks and stuff like that. And I don't know if it's because it's a small island where I'm from, but the big holidays, Christmas and Easter, was more of a community gathering more than a family gathering. We did a family thing, but then, after you do your family thing, everybody in the village is going from house to house, sitting around talking, laughing, and eating and drinking. The same thing with Easter. The big thing, one of the traditions for Easter there, for some reason, was kite flying. And they would have these kite competitions where people would make homemade kites out of bamboo. You cut the bamboo up and you make the kite. We also made kites out of, I don't know, we call it a flex. The coconut trees, and they have the long leaves. The outside part of it is green, and the inside part of it is kind of a long stick-looking type thing. We call it a flex. You cut off the green part, and that part you use to make your kites. And they would have kite competitions. One of the kite competitions one year they had was you put razor blades on the tail of the kites because you use old sheets to make the tail of the kites. And all the kites would do, there's certain kites they call fighting kites. And you would put it up in the sky and you would try to cut down the next person's kite with the razor blades and stuff like that. They had all kinds of stuff like that. But Easter is really big on the island, and that's because of the Catholicism. And like I said, I just vaguely remember some Easter traditions that we had there, man. I hope you guys enjoyed this video as much as I did. If you did, drop a like on the video, share the video, and drop some comments on there. Tell me Easter traditions that you remember growing up, whether you're Serbian, whether you're Romanian. And as they said, in certain different parts of the country, in Romania itself, there's different traditions that are specific to the different regions. So drop me, tell me what the vibe is down there. In the meantime, man, it's a time of peace and love. You understand what I mean? These religious holidays, we should emphasize the peace and love, especially with everything that's going on in the world today. Emphasize that vibe. You understand what I'm saying? Love each other. Treat each other with respect. Learn about each other, because that's how we're going to be able to love each other and treat each other with respect. Realize that we're all human beings living on this earth, trying to live a nice, righteous life and be good to each other. You all take care of each other, all right? Cool runnings.